So I had a question about just relationships with groups of people in general. I've noticed when I go into groups of people for the first time or even multiple times and I don't know anyone at first, I become very introverted and I kind of take myself, I feel like even though I am trying to be a part of the group, my jokes are not being received. Then I feel like, oh my gosh, like, am I not supposed to be here? And I don't like that. I want to be able to own every room that I'm in, to feel as if, like, I love Eva Longoria because she has a sense of being so charming. And I want to be able to be like that because I have this very extroverted side who loves connecting, loves talking with people, who could own a room, but I've noticed this other side of me comes out and I know I should love that part a little bit more and be more accepting of it. But for some reason, I don't like how I then go into a shell when I'm around other people.
This conversation is really about your own ease, about your own question-answer dance when the mirrors are not familiar. And understanding that this system of question-answer dance, this amazing infinite feedback loop that you have from within and then without yourself, so to speak. So outwards, inwards, outward, inwards. The system is exactly the same. All of the mirrors are exactly the same in that structural, systematic way and providing you with more information, more feedback about where you stand, regardless of familiarity of that or not so much. Actually, you have way more chances, quote unquote, to find ease in what's reflected back to you in those brand new relationships, or meaning those brand new people that you do not even know, because there is no expectation of these people. People that you know expectations. And with some of them, you have more ease coming back to you. And with some of them, especially those important ones that you give a lot of attention to, come back and bite you with so many questions back and back and back to you, right? So they come back with more and more of that vibration reflecting to you. But these brand new people, you do not have to own anything in that room. If that curiosity about what am I going to learn right now about me, what is this feedback going to look like? If you start getting excited about the question-answer dance with a mirror that is brand new, that can give you so much more information about where you stand at the moment, then you start getting excited about going into new places and going within new people and understanding that everyone has this question-answer dance within them. And that the comparison while interacting with others is what creates more stability within you when you go back. But also to understand that you do not have to go in a room of many people and own the room, but that you can start small. You can start very comfortably with one person and another person and see how many mirrors are you ready to put in front of you, how many new mirrors you're ready to put in front of you. So if you have tools within you to get you this steady feeling of you looking inward first, seeing that this love within you, this feeling of safety, of confidence that you have is always and only within you, then you will go back to that place even if sometimes before you even speak to the first mirror coming back to you, or sometimes you're going to include 15 mirrors and have a ball and be the light of the party. But all of it is only moment by moment by moment. So getting ahead of it, where you look within enough that that's active within you, and understanding that everyone has a question-answer dance and everyone comes within to have this experience. You see your question-answer dance and someone else's question-answer dance coming through. Question, receiving answers. Question, receiving answers. Question, receiving answers. And that's how the interaction happens. That's how communication happens. A lot of teachers would call it vibrational conversation, and that's exactly what it is. Question, answer, coming on a perimeter view back to you, on a perimeter view back to you as you go. We would see this as an opportunity that you do not know these people, that you can then be so easy in shifting your attention from one to another until you find some more satisfying than others. And then watch what happens.
Just for clarification, so that adaptability really comes from allowing those expectations to drop.
This adaptability comes from you not trying to adapt to anything, but to your own awareness of your own question-answer dance. You do not own anyone to stay in a conversation even a second longer than you're excited to do at that moment, nor you own to anyone to check off marks with how many people you're going to be extroverted about before you go introverted. You see, this extrovert introvert, you can even look at it as the question answer we talk about. This introvert, everyone is an introvert when they're looking within. Nobody can be extrovert and experiencing within. Everyone is introvert when they're getting activated vibration of answer, this everything that exists being most dominant within them. And this extrovert is you getting information and interacting with others. So sometimes if you feel ease about excitement about questions being asked, then you're at ease about understanding that introvert part of you is inevitable for you to have this beautiful question answer dance. Continue, there is more here for you.
Yeah, so I should tap into not only ease, because now I'm looking at it as you're speaking with me now, I see it as like that opportunity to be able to shift your focus back within in a way that feels good and then turns to an external good feeling when I'm going within. But I keep tapping into not only ease, but is it also that excitement and confidence, like just always switching back whenever if I feel disconnected, to be like, oh no.
So let us clarify for you something we have not said before like this. This confidence within you is the first part as you received feedback from someone and then you integrated it within you. And then that confidence gives you an idea that you want to now go and receive some more question vibration, which means that confidence turns into excitement. But we want you to know that excitement is on a way from answer to a new question. Excitement is not about question to an answer. Excitement is always other way around. You see that confidence you get from the feedback and that you integrate within ease, that is vibration of answer. But this excitement is on the heel of you to see another reflection and another reflection and another reflection, and reflection is always in a vibration of some kind of question.
So with that uncomfortable feeling, let's say in that group setting, that uncomfortableness, at first it might feel uncomfortable, but it's about tuning within to feel comfortable.
That uncomfortable feeling that uncomfortable feeling, Kosta is finding some words, a lot of energy flowing through on this question of yours. That uncomfortable feeling that you feel is when you give so much more attention, you see. So you had this excitement and then you started pushing that question of more and more and more and more. Once you feel like even slightest discomfort, your sensitivity will tell you slightest discomfort or observation of something different, because opinions are always different. Sometimes in similar vibrations, sometimes in a different one. You will then from there you can see how long you want to stay there, how long you want to give this attention. So it's only really about practicing your attention muscle. This must be new too for Armand to put as a quote. An attention muscle. How long do you give attention? How long do you keep stirring up those questions before you go integrate it into your confidence and then turn it into excitement for another question? So you see, this dance is happening at all times, and sometimes your attention gets there and wants to ask more and more questions. It is like sometimes trying to speak too quickly, because it might feel like there is a standard of how quickly you are to speak in a social interaction. You can take your time with this. You can find your own dance of integration and then you will see, once you get more of the flow and you stay just enough in a place of question to bring you enough information back to you to feel the confidence, to feel the excitement again, to ask another question, and so on, then momentum of that goes. And that is the time where you want to add momentum and speed. And that is the time where you want to move even quicker in this, even though that happens naturally already. But then you can give more and more attention to the whole process, not only to the question that sometimes activates more of that discomfort, which is also good too for you once in a while to remind you of the power of your focus.
So with the focus and attention, is there a way to give me an example on what type of attention I was focusing on and how to switch? Like, I just a little bit more clear.
When you're in a place of discomfort, it's time to unfocus. So you see, excitement brings the focus to the question. And then from question, releasing brings the unfocusing to the confidence. Now, this was an excellent way of explaining it too. So you integrate it within confidence, and then you get excited while focusing on something. The moment you start sensing some sort of discomfort, you want to go into the place of releasing that discomfort by unfocusing and back into feeling confidence. Your confidence, what you're made of, this love, this steadiness within you, is always within everything that exists, and you have access to all of that once you make your preference, once you make a decision that it's a question answer dance and this beautiful loop of feedback coming to you from confidence, excitement into focus, and then on a way of releasing that by unfocusing and back into confidence. Excellent conversation.
So with the discomfort, was I just paying so much attention to that, or that
you were just not as sensitive? Even now, as we're having this conversation and explaining for the third time, which we're excited to do, you keep going back to the vibration of discomfort. Stay in the place of that. So you want to be sensitive. Oftentimes that might be even called emotional. When you're emotional, you switch the focus. Kosta loves to do this. When he feels that he needs to switch the focus, it does not matter what happens. He can be in the middle of something planned for months and he can just switch it back and do what he wants to do. Arman oftentimes stays in discomfort because of this, and now finding more and more comfort within himself as well. You see, there is nothing that you need to do because of the context if you're so sensitive that the contexts are always changing, that then you choose how they're changing moment by moment based off of your own sensitivity of how good you want to feel.
Okay, thank you so much.